If you have this year of truck, then chances are that you're dealing with or will have to deal with rust or dents on the front bumper. This bumper in particular tends to attract a lot of rocks and debris, and the rear has a similar issue with rocks from the rear wheels chipping away at the chrome underneath, and dents are a pretty common issue with the thin steel. This video will give you a step-by-step tutorial for installing BumperShellz and get your truck looking new again without having to replace your bumper, and using an option that is quicker, more durable, and in most cases cheaper than paint or vinyl. First, you need to clean your bumper thoroughly. BumperShellz is attached using the highest quality 3M tape. This auto-grade tape is extremely strong, but it can only work if it has a clean surface to bond to. You can start off cleaning with soap and water, but ensure that all the soap is rinsed off the bumper so it doesn't leave any residue, and then use regular isopropyl alcohol to ensure the best adhesion surface. If the ambient temperature is below 68 degrees Fahrenheit during your installation, the 3M tape will not adhere correctly. That means that if you're installing in the colder months of the year, you're going to need to heat the bumper and the 3M tape with a heat gun or hair dryer. And just be careful while you're doing this not to warp the BumperShellz or the trim on your truck. After the BumperShellz are installed, hot or cold weather will not affect the adhesion. This is only a factor during the initial installation. Before starting the final install, perform a dry fit. Install the BumperShellz without removing the red backing to the 3M tape. This is just to check the fit and give you an idea of how the BumperShellz will go on before it's permanent. Shift it around until there is either none of the original bumper showing or a very minimal amount. After you're satisfied, remove the BumperShellz. Apply the provided blackout tape around the outside edges of the center bumper. This will ensure that no sliver of chrome is visible around the edges after the final install. To begin the final install of the front bumper cover, remove all the red backing to the 3M adhesive tape. After that's done, carefully slide the cover over the bumper, making sure the tape doesn't touch down prematurely. Ensure that the cover is pushed flush with the vertical bumper surface and that it is slid entirely under the front grille. Begin at either side by making sure the edge of the cover is butted up against the side of the corner bumper. None of the original steel center bumper should be visible at this point. You can now start to put a little bit of pressure on the 3M tape only on the vertical bumper surface. Work your way down to the opposite side of the bumper, ensuring that the cover is tucked in above the lower valence. After that's done, you can start putting firm pressure on the entire vertical surface of the cover where the 3M tape is contacting the bumper. After you're completely satisfied with the adhesion on the vertical surface, begin putting pressure on the horizontal surface of the cover just forward of the grille. This is the last step in the process. Give it one last once over and then you're all finished. This entire process, start to finish, should have taken you anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. We'll have time to step back and admire later, but for now let's move on to the rear covers. The steel on the rear bumper is incredibly thin, so if you do have any dents, you're definitely not alone. And if the dents are really bad, you might want to consider trying to bang out the dents a little before you do your dry fit, just to make sure everything is going to work okay. The rear install is just slightly more difficult than the installation for the front. You do have to tuck the cover under the step pad and remove 4 plastic clips. There are 2 on the outboard edges of the bumper and 2 around where your tow hitch is. When removing them, if any clips break, you can typically pick up replacements for cheap at your local auto parts store. After those are removed, you need to begin loosening up the step pad to make room for the BumperShellz installation. Use your trim tool to pop out the center pad. As for the top step pad, pry up on the first 1 or 2 tabs. You can go through the process of pulling up all the tabs underneath the bumper, but that's typically not necessary. Your dry fit will let you know if you have loosened up the step pad enough. To start the dry fit, slip the edge of the bumper shell underneath the center pad, again with the red backing to the 3M tape still in place. When you slide it up to the step pad, use your trim tool again to wedge the top flange of the bumper shell underneath the step. The rest of it should slip on pretty easily after that. Now it's time to make sure your sensor holes are correctly positioned and will line up correctly when you do your final install. Do a last check around the perimeter and repeat on the opposite side. When you're ready, remove the BumperShellz to begin prepping the bumper for installation. Clean the bumper thoroughly and rinse off any soap residue. Wipe the surface where the tape will be applied with regular isopropyl alcohol or a 3M brand adhesion promoter. Finally, remove the backing of the 3M tape and use the same technique for the install that you practiced with your dry fit. Be careful not to let the tape touch down until everything is positioned correctly. If you have reverse sensors, make sure that you've centered the hole around the sensor before moving on to the corners of the bumper. When you're satisfied with the positioning, begin putting firm pressure on the taped areas of the bumper shell. Give the step pad and center pad a couple good whacks to reseat the tabs, and then reinsert the clips. Your truck's bumper transformation should now be completely finished. It should have been a relatively easy installation, but if you do have any issues, please contact our customer service number and email, which are listed in the summary. We do also recommend that you not take your truck through any car washes for at least 48 hours. Also, the day after you install these, go around and put some more pressure on the taped areas again, just to make sure everything is attached correctly. We'd love to see before and after pictures of your truck, so please send them to us, and we'll feature your truck on our social media platforms.